everybody, it's the Coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. The wait is finally over. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis here on the start of a new NFL season, and we kick it off with a bang on Thursday night.
What's interesting about these Thursday night games is oftentimes we hear people say, is it really fair for players to play on Thursday night? But what did we hear from both of these teams going into this one? How excited they were to have the spotlight on their teams, their franchises, the rest of the league watching them go at it.
With fall around the corner, football is back, America, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Here now the offense for the Bengals.
Obviously a tough test for this offense right out of the gate. Road game in game 1 of the new year. Conventional wisdom says, go slow, take care of the football. I think in this case, attack early and get the home team back on their heels.
Back to throw. Glenn. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
The Bengals bring out their punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. Six-yard return after a punt of 48. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, He's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff. Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
To throw on second down. Underwood over the middle, complete. That's Lopez. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. And he'll give it here to his running back. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And a peek now at the offense for Cleveland.
And last night we were discussing some of the changes they've made offensively during the offseason. And we know it helps for them to have the first game at home. Hopefully this crowd, which we saw coming in, they've been here for a while, ready to go. You and I should have joined the tailgates, that's for sure. They're going to give them plenty of encouragement. They'll try and ride that wave and get their first victory of the year.
Looking to throw on second down. Underwood. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 30.
Well, he's looking sharp right from the get-go here. Tough division. They needed this kind of a start. But I think this is part of where scripting comes in. We always hear about the scripting of plays, how they're going to be called. Everyone dress rehearses their script, and right now they're following it to a T.
And for that opening drive, so part of the script still to come, right, partner?
Yeah, no doubt about it. We've got a ways to go with that. But you can tell that they worked on the script the entire week in practice, and it's paying off for them.
Ball on the 30 as they come up second and 10. Throwing again. Underwood. And it's incomplete. Broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. Trying to defend the out route there. Got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's a 2nd and 7. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. From the gun on 3rd down. Glenn. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there. 79 yards. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now the Browns defensive unit trots back out. And a big reason they've got the lead here in the first half. Some of these hits we're going to see here.
Almost like they're a group of superheroes, right? Something out of a comic book. Boom, pow, biff.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game. And typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Early down stuff to put this offense in precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
On 2nd down, it's Newman. And some room to roam now. Well, they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Underwood. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch back.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run on first down. Durham. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Now for the point after. And it is now 21-0. That time a 6-play drive. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
I got you, boy. I got you, boy. Switch.
Now they'll run on the draw. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they're dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they're bringing your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
On 3rd down, Glenn. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. First chance in the red zone for the Bengals now. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. Back to throw. Glenn. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage, if that. And with a flag on the field, and that one looks to be in the area where someone was held. So no gain on the play. They'll decline the penalty to not give him the down back.
And were you thinking to yourself that maybe they would take the yardage there? Because I definitely was. But as you noted, maybe...
And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown as they are now on the board here in the first half.
Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive, now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive.
And the defense now needs to reciprocate.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? Second quarter, and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big because
they're focusing on the fourth quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here. And it's being done by him and, of course, the big guys up front who are creating the holes for him to run through.
Yeah, they've all been good so far. To throw on second down. Underwood. And a quick throw here. That's complete. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
You said it earlier in the quarter when we saw a broken tackle then that we might see some missed tackles here early on in week 1, and that's another one right there.
Yeah, not a surprise at all. It will even out as the season extends because everyone will get used to the play speed. But right now, here in the early season, the advantage definitely goes to the offense.
That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 43. Looking to throw. Underwood. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 18.
You're looking there at a defensive back who's maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but what he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Give them 17 at a Cincinnati first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there and stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the season debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman, in Orlando, as we look ahead to all the action coming up this opening weekend. And of course, we'll also take a look back at this first half. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. A very good return that time, 18 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He hasn't had his best day. They have been good running the football, and they have the lead, though, so maybe he just personally wants to improve his play.
And that's without a doubt, because at the end of the game, He wants to feel like he had a really good hand in his team winning, if in fact they...
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Back to throw. Underwood. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. Every defensive staff harps on the limiting explosion.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellows in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. He's going to air one out. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play that time for Cleveland. 52 yards. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's 1st down on the other side of the field. They run the counter. It's Newman. And some room to work. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
You got nothing.
Throwing on 1st down. Glenn. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Looking to throw. Glenn. Wide open receiver, complete. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. Well, this could be a big turnaround. They get the touchdown here in the final moments of the 2nd quarter. And remember, Charles, they're going to get the ball to start quarter number 3 as well.
So what you're saying is, if they take the ball down to start the 2nd half, and score again, it could change the entire complexion of this game, couldn't it?
Absolutely. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. It's up and good, and it's now 28-14. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a Bengals score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
Come on now, let's go.
Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll keep it on the ground. Newman. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Yeah, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Operating from the gun. Underwood going up top. And got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, that's how you convert on 3rd down with an explosive gain of 34.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Go.
They'll keep it on the ground. Durham. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
So we got man.
On 3rd and 2. Underwood. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 22-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
This will be caught inside the 10. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. In the pocket, chucked it away. Flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field. Have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
So after the loss of down, they'll come up here with a 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Underwood. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They coming off a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball. That cut down the lead. Now the defense does their part, got them the football back.
So now maybe with the touchdown they scored previously, plus their defense making that stand up and getting them the ball right back, momentum may be shifting in their favor.
On first down, Glenn, quick hitter here, it's complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Off the play fake. Glenn. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner, and usually he's able to use his body and catch the football, but a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Looking to throw. Glenn looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hubbard. That'll put him at 96 yards receiving now for the game, and he's got a first down as well.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off play action. Glenn. And he finds a man with a crossing route. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Glenn firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun, Glenn, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, they only had a yard to go. They tried to pass the football. Defense blitz. Defense got there.
Yeah, I think on this one, this is probably good scouting, understanding a few tendencies, and figuring out that, hey, they may take a shot, and they dialed up the pressure and got to him.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. Newman. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. On first down, it's Newman. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
They'll keep it on the ground. Newman. And an alley to run. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. A good pickup there for the Browns. 15 yards. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career. And Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They run the counter. It's Newman. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
2nd and 5. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. This quarterback now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Here's a first down throw that's complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon. But this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
They'll run on first down. It's Newman. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. From 13 yards out. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his 2nd season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
The point after is good, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Let's go.
Operating from the gun. Glenn. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A gain of 6 there on first. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. And he's got it. Got his man on the end round, complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Looking to throw. Glenn. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Here's 2nd and 8. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
And the Browns are able to cover this one up. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. They'll try the left side. Newman. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Here we go. 50, play.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Newman, and he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line, well short of the first. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Browns send out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. So now the Bengals down on the scoreboard. And time, a huge factor. Field goals, useless at this point. They need 2 touchdowns, and they need them in short order.
On the ready. 58, come on. Bound to lose one. Take go.
On 1st and 10. Glenn. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
We got to step it up.
To throw again. Glenn. And this will be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Back to throw. Glenn throwing right, and that's complete. And all the way down to the 40-yard line. A big play there for the Bengals. And even 40 yards. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Off the play fake. Glenn. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Looking to throw. Glenn. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth-quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Now the try here for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out now, here come the Bengals. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Back to throw. Glenn able to find Turner. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this one. Everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for Cleveland, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, pass to your receiver. Rock running the spot, and you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate the dub play, and you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years, so you can say we got 3 turns live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We installed doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing, relieving the kings of all crowns. Are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, y'all, peak the flow. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Ready, set, steady, back. Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Turn it up, y'all, peak the flow. Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, we giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Ready, set, steady, back. But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
Yeah. 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 Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew. So I never get confused. Hotel